What's happening, party people? I am in Bend, Oregon, working on this platinum wagon. I got here a few days ago. I'm still here. I was supposed to leave today, but man, some of these things that I'm doing is taking longer than I remember. You know, I don't do some of this stuff to remember how long it takes, so I need to take a look at my videos. If you look at my videos when I'm completing tasks, and look in the description area, I get an estimate of how long it should take to do these tasks. Now, fortunate for me, this car is not riddled with rust, so it's just a hard grunt work and working on the ground that I'm struggling with. I'm in Bend, Oregon. I'll be here through Thursday evening. I'm taking a flight back to Vegas, and then I'll try to get back on track to the traveling into California. So that's where I'm at. I appreciate you guys watching, and there's a couple things that I want to remind you of on my channel. Number one, it is hard for me to find replies on YouTube. I don't know why they took their special notification and the ability to respond to random replies, but I have to find the videos that there's replies on, and I don't get notices for replies, so it's hard to find those. Also, I believe I'm going to start answering some of these questions publicly. I get questions in my remarks a lot, and I reply to those, but some of those questions are worthy of putting in the form of the video and going that way. So that's where I'm at. Hope you guys enjoy today's clips. Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert. That's me. This video contains things that I encounter throughout the day. If for some reason I complete a task and you would like to see the details, you could click on the link in the description area below. This video also contains tips and tricks that I learned throughout the years. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. Thank you very much for watching. The fog is under me on this mountain down here. It is just spectacular. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Just that beauty. Look at that beauty. It's crazy. Beauty is crazy. Windy road is just so spectacular and beautiful. Out here in the country of California. Look at that beauty. Beautiful. Just read something that said this is Lake Sonoma. So this is a lake down here that all this fog is sitting on. Hopefully I don't get stuck in this stuff, because this stuff is thick. Thick. I'm about to make a right turn here. Kicking off the Tinker Day just north of Santa Rosa and the salvage yard. Picking parts here and there. There's a few Volvos out here. And man, I'm still shocked at how nice these roof trims are out here. Look at that thing. Beautiful. Come out here to pick some brake calipers. Oil cooler if I can find them. There's a few red blocks out here. And a couple people need these grills. So there's one here. I gotta find another cross country to find another piece. I'll take this one, thank you. And keep moseying around. Whoop whoop. Here goes the second pick of the day. 302 brakes. Man, these rotors, they don't look like they got any wear on them at all. Rotors look good. Brake pads are like half worn, so I guess they got some wear on them. This thing has Coney struts, which are nice. But I'm going to take these brackets and maybe these rotors and see what else I can find out here that's worth grabbing. 99 V70R. It should have a decent steering wheel. It's a little worn, not totally worn out. I think it still has an 18T on it with an angle flange. That's still there. Still got this R front bumper. It's got some damage in the front. Crap. And a couple other little bits on it, but the 18Ts and these conies are the main things that's left on it that's probably worth a nickel. Come and get it. I think it's called Windsor Pick Apart. This sunroof doesn't look as good as I hoped. When you look kind of close, you can see cracking in this gasket around there, and it almost looks like somebody tried to put some sealant on it at one time. So there's that, and this is the bottom side of it. Looks like somebody's put some sealant or gasket material or something around here. Here at this C70, pull the sunroof. It looks like somebody's been hacking around with this thing. It's not like the S&V 70 sunroof that it channels into the track assembly. This thing is glued to the glass. But they're hard to find. Man, look at this. S40 lights. Those are neat. I don't think I've ever seen those before. Kind of look sporty. Driving this T5M at night, I noticed one of the headlights was pointed into the trees. But when I pull up to this garage door, the left one appears to be correct. The right one appears to have a broken beam. So you see here is a beam here, and here's another beam. Usually when you have a broken beam like that, you have a light bulb that is not installed in its holder correctly in the light assembly. So I'm going to try to access that and get that bulb installed correctly to correct that beam. Let's see how that works out for us. The right side of that stray beam hits up in the trees pretty high and probably blinds people when you go around corners and stuff like that. See, that right beam is a lot better now. Somehow, somebody put that light bulb in upside down. When it was upside down, the part of the beam that's supposed to be pushed on the ground was actually pushed up in the trees. That makes me wonder if this left one is also installed upside down. Let me check it and maybe make it right as well. This left bulb was installed correctly. You see this flat point here? That is supposed to go up in the air. So this bulb was installed correctly. The other one was installed upside down. So if you look back here, you can see that there's a flat spot in the top of the light assembly where that bulb sits. Took a trip into town to run a couple errands and get a couple of parts. And the temperature distance from here to in town, which I consider Santa Rosa is the closest really big town. It took 50 miles to get there. As the crow flies, it's probably 30 miles, a lot of zigzaggy road. And the temperature difference is 20 degrees. 64 degrees out here, 84 degrees in there. It's incredible. Nice and comfortable here. I'm still kind of stuck on go with this Platinum wagon. The first thing I wanted to do was tear the dash apart, fix the odometer gear, stuff like that. But I'm having a hard time getting it to count miles. I've put 3 or 4 ABS modules on here and couldn't get them to count until one of them I put in, and before I moved the car, it jumped 10 miles. Now I'm taking 2-mile drives. Why did it jump 10 miles? I don't know. So I'm going to back through these ABS modules and see which one is counting miles and then read the error codes. Every one that I've installed so far has at least given me a right rear ABS error code. which Matty Moe at Midwest ABS says is normal. So let me see if I could get one of these to count miles consistently. That way I know the odometer and cluster is working, and I can go from there on correcting the mileage to what it has and stuff like that. I took several 2-mile test drives without airing up the tires. I remembered the tire right front was real low. Man, I don't know if that thing had 10 psi in it. So I aired all the tires up to 34 psi. Man, this thing is riding a lot smoother, but something in the suspension is making a lot more noise. Maybe the anti-sway bar bushings are torn apart, so we'll see how that works out. But I got a little banging when I was turning it. So anyway, the steering wheel feels a lot better with the tires aired up. Maybe that was the issue with the steering. We are testing ABS modules, seeing if they count miles, and we are seeing what else they do. There's 2 I tested, I labeled them. This one doesn't have a tracks. It's not a tracks module, so the tracks light actually went out. So we're going to see if this one counted miles. The last one counted 10 miles when I only traveled 2. Didn't understand that. So we're going to see if this one counted miles. It was at 757, and it's still at 757. So it doesn't appear that it counted miles. Not sure why, unless this thing only count miles in 10 increments. I don't know why it would do that. Anyway, let's read the codes for this ABS module. Eight codes on this module. Good Lord. Right front wheel sensor. Right front wheel sensor. Left rear wheel sensor. Left rear wheel sensor. Right rear wheel sensor. Right rear wheel sensor. Pressure switch. Pump motor. And we're back to number 1. I'm going to see if this will erase these things. Erase them, yes. Did not erase. Let's see what is still there. There's 3 still there. Right front wheel sensor, left rear wheel sensor, right rear wheel sensor. So I'm going to take it for a short drive and see what codes come back on it. Alright, let's do that. After my last drive, I only came back with 3 codes. Right front wheel, left front wheel, right rear wheel, and I'm surprised it still gave me speedometer. Alright, so let's see if we count miles this time. Oh, failed to communicate. Let's try that again. Move the ignition key a little bit. Go down the program. No miles count. I'm coming to the conclusion. Right front, right rear, pump. So that's 412, 414, 443. That my VST here is not reading miles.
it's reading miles by the 10. It's not reading that single N digit. So I think these ABS modules that are counting the speed are also counting miles. But my VST here is not counting the single miles. It's just counting miles by 10. So once I go 10 miles, it'll tell me, hey, you went 10 miles. So I haven't quite driven 10 miles yet. So I think I've driven like 6 miles. So if I drive 4 more miles, I'll get 767. It's just not counting that 7 digit there. So I think I'm going to drive it a couple more miles and see if I get that. But this ABS module has a problem with the right front. I don't know if I'll keep this one. I think I'm going to keep the one that only has the problem with the right rear. Yep, I got another 10 miles read on this thing. So it's not reading this single digit mile on the back. It's just reading the 10 miles. So cluster's working, which is awesome. I was afraid it wasn't. So let me back out of here, scan the brakes one more time, and shut this thing down for the night, because it is now dark. Still got the 3 codes: right front, right rear, pump. 212, 214, 244. Roll up these windows, folks. Shutting it down for the night, 8:02. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.